Hello Aries, thank you for joining me for your January monthly forecast. Welcome to the new year, and what a dramatic start to 2014 it is for you. A combination of 3 planets are clustered together in the part of your horoscope that's to do with the way you interact with the world at large. So your life role, your career prospects, your ambitions and goals are going to be powerfully influenced by this solar return, not just for this month, but for the whole of 2014. But what ups the ante is the fact that all 3 planets, which is the Sun, Mercury and Pluto, are squaring up to your ruling planet, which is Mars, and in your opposite sign of Libra. So what are the implications for this? I think really, relationships are going to be the key to your story in this year. And whatever you pinpoint as being your New Year's resolutions to drive yourself towards success, and I think your determination is going to be immense in the early part of this year, it is going to be tactics going to be just as important as actually what you want, because people are always part of the mix in life. And if you handle people well, there's a much greater chance that your determination will reap a reward that you really want. There is another planet that's right at the top of your horoscope, your solar midheaven, as this new year begins, and that is Venus. And Venus is going to be twisting backwards for all but 1 day of this month. So what are the implications for this? You know that Venus is about love, but it's also about the things we attract to us, and that can be money. And in this part of your horoscope, again, it's emphasizing the need to skillfully handle and interact with the decision makers that you encounter throughout this month. But Venus is treading backwards, and because of this, it is going to go back into an opposition with Jupiter broadly for the second half of the month. And that can up your ambitions even more, especially about property issues. So if you are wanting to make some key changes to where you live, they can certainly be emphasized in this time. But also in the last week of January, well, Pluto comes into the picture as far as Venus is concerned, and the two go side by side. And you need to remember that Pluto is about power, and being alongside Venus, it could be that something could be offered to you, an opportunity, but there could be some strings attached, and you must be aware of how you cultivate those relationships again. So there does seem to be a fairly consistent theme, doesn't there? And yet there's other stuff going on as well. There is a quarter moon which occurs on the 8th in your sign, and once more it's saying to you, you need to be patient in terms of fulfilling your hopes and ambitions for this year, because I do feel that you can burst into 2014 with an incredible amount of drive, and your grit and willpower can take you far this year for sure. But it all goes back on this quarter moon for the following week to marshalling your resources in the right way. Resources is about energy, and again, it's about the body politic. It's all about handling people. In the middle of the month, there is a full moon, and this full moon says if you're putting too much emphasis on work, earnings, how you're viewed by people externally, you could be denying yourself a more emotional connection with your plans, or not spending enough time with the people who really count. Now Mercury is going to help you enormously from the 12th, because it moves into the friendliest part of your scope, and soon after it's going to be angling up brilliantly with Uranus in your sign. When the Sun moves into Aquarius on the 20th, the same process is repeated. So there can be times this month when innovation and originality can take you far, and also this can be a time for you to network with the friends that are really meaningful for you. So if you do find yourself getting caught up in work and big plans and major hopes, it is important to create the time to just retreat into the comfort and ease of those relationships that you really feel that you can be authentically yourself. Because there may be times this month when you really do have to play the game of life and keep a bit more traditional and keep to what people expect of you. Yet by the end of the month, on the 30th, when there's an Aquarius new moon, then I think you can really start to feel much more settled into this new year, and not quite so strident, a bit more balanced in your overall approach. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Happy New Year and goodbye for now.